Welcome to the Historic Preservation Commission meeting on Thursday, September 11th, 2025. Hearings before the Historic Preservation Commission are quasi-judicial in nature. This is a design review process to determine if the proposed project is congruous with the special character of the historic district or landmark. Decisions of the commission are based on the record of these proceedings, the Wilmington Design Standards for Historic Districts and Landmarks, and the Secretary of Interior Standards for Rehabilitation. Evidence submitted to the commission for review becomes part of the record. Appeals of commission decisions are made to the Wilmington Board of Adjustment and to the Superior Court and are based on the record. Appeals must be filed within 30 days of the date of the commission's action. Evidence is received during the evidentiary hearing portion of agenda item. Those who want to address the commission are sworn as witnesses to present material and substantial evidence to the commission. The chair recognizes that those who want to submit such evidence during the evidentiary hearing, evidence should be directed to the commission. To ensure that the evidence is properly recorded, please come to the podium to address the commission, state your name and address, and speak clearly. Members of the Historic Preservation Commission are appointed by the City Council and serve at its discretion. Our responsibility is to protect and preserve properties within the city's designated historic districts. We adhere to the Wilmington Design Standards for Historic Districts and Landmarks, as well as the applicable North Carolina state law, in order to assess whether exterior changes align with the unique character of the city's historic districts. It is important that we deliberate the merits of each request in a manner that provides a record of the basis for our decisions. Please remember that our deliberation should center on how a project meets the design standards and whether the proposed change is congruous or not. Commissioners, if you have received or been made aware of any outside evidence related to any of these matters, please recuse yourself. And if you would all please turn off your cell phones or turn them to silent mode, and thank you for that. I'd like to introduce staff. Gina Essie, Assistant City Attorney, Brian Chambers, Assistant Planning Director, Ben Riggle, Historic Preservation Planning Manager, Hillary Taylor, Planner, A.B. Bradshaw, Planning Coordinator. And I would like the commissioners to introduce themselves, please, maybe stage left.
Beth Rutledge.
Watts.
Joan Keston.
Christopher Yermal.
Ashley Wilson.
Stephen Sulky.
Ross Tomaselli.
And if the, I'm sorry, Amy, if you will swear in any witnesses who wish to speak this evening?
If I can have all staff, applicants, and members of the public who are planning to speak this evening, please stand up and raise your right hand. Please note that you need to stand up and be sworn in order to speak this evening. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Since today is the 24th anniversary of 9/11, I was wondering if we could have a moment of silence.
Anyone object to that? Do we need a vote? Any objection? Let's just, okay. Thank you for that. First order of business, approval of the minutes from the last meeting, August 14th, 2025. Any corrections there other than two I wanted to mention? Anyone else? No? I just wanted to point out that 1419 Market Street, there was a issue about a waistline for plumbing being installed on the outside of the house. It states here that the motion to approve carried 7-0, but that was 6-1. I was dissenting opinion on that. And I did have a question, maybe it's a Brian question. I just wanted to follow up on one thing. I'm sorry. Through item 3, 1705 Chestnut Street, it says in the minutes here, if the 7 windows on the front or south facade of the house cannot be repaired, additional evidence shall be provided to demonstrate the deteriorated condition of the existing windows, as well as more specific details regarding the proposed replacement window units. Is that something that they're going to start on that work, and once they get started, they're going to come back to staff with this additional evidence, or in front of the commission? I'm just not sure where.
I may have to defer to Ben, but I believe that they were going to provide that information before they started work.
That's the way I understand it as well, that they will be providing us something once they make the decision if they're going to replace or repair.
Okay.
From from the sounds of it, we'll I don't want to speculate. So yeah.
So you
once we
haven't
get-
seen anything yet
I
with
have not
it,
seen anything
but you're
yet.
expecting some kind of
Yes.
information
Yes,
eventually?
I can follow up.
Oh, okay.
Double check with them, make sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
So, just, that was clarification, and aside from that other item, would someone like to make a motion to approve?
I make a motion to approve the
Is there a
minutes.
second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Evidentiary hearings, old business, 501 South Fifth Avenue. Is that applicant in attendance tonight?
We're going to present,
Okay,
because it's been continued so many times, staff would like something to happen with it, one
Okay.
way or the other.
if you'll just, yeah, okay, start that if you would.
So, welcome to the new chambers. Interesting that the first commission meeting is preservation in the brand-new city council chambers. I kind of like that. Case number one is for the project at 501 South Fifth Avenue. The Hall House, located at 501 South Fifth Avenue, was initially presented at the June 12th, 2025 HBC meeting and was continued at the July 10th and the August 14th, 2025 meetings.
Mr. Riggle, I'm sorry, I
okay.
need to stop you for a second. We need to take a brief recess. The system is not running us live, and so streaming live like it's supposed to be. So if we could just have maybe 2 or 3 minutes while we make sure that we're streaming as
Sure,
required.
okay. We will pause.
Yeah, you should be able to go in, just don't, if you use the private one.
Oh, okay,
Don't go
sounds
out
good.
through
Don't
the
go
other
out
walls.
through that. Okay.
Thank you for your understanding. We can go ahead and resume.
All right, start over again. Case one is for the Hall House located at 501 South Fifth Avenue, which was initially presented at the June 12th, 2025 HBC meeting and consequently continued at the July 10th and August 14th, 2025 meetings. The case was continued at the time for a request for additional information, particularly regarding the potential structural issues resulting from the proposed changes to the house as requested. The Hall House is located in the historic district residential. As such, all revisions to the building's facades and sites, the facades and site are subject to design review to ensure compliance with the district's historic preservation guidelines. According to the Wilmington Historic District Boundary Expansion and Additional Documentation Report, the Hall House was constructed circa 1904, and it is a two-story passage house with a hipped roof and a projecting pedimented bay. The subject property is located at the northwest corner of the intersection of South Fifth Avenue and Church Street. The applicant proposes to remove the existing 2 chimneys and replace them with custom-built faux chimneys with exact materials and appearance of the original chimneys. The proposed faux chimneys will be located in the same location above the roof line. The applicant also proposes to remove the existing rear east facade door and install new double-hung window measuring 24 inches by 48 inches. The proposed window will be clear glass with no tint. In addition, the applicant proposes to remove the existing side north elevation door and install new double-hung wood window measuring 24 inches by 48 inches. The proposed window will be clear and with no tint. A new door opening will be introduced on the side elevation of the gable-ended rear entry. The new proposed door will be a Ritz One Light Craftsman mahogany door measuring 36 inches by 80 inches with low E glass with no tint. Staff notes the following. The 2 existing exterior doors located on the rear east facade and side north elevation are not original to the home. The existing chimneys appear to be in good condition. If commission elects to issue a certificate of appropriateness for this request, staff recommends the following conditions. All window glass shall be clear with no tint. The wood siding shall match the exact dimensions and materials of the existing wood siding. New chimneys shall be located in the same location as the existing chimneys above the roof line. All construction shall meet code. Any changes to the project should be reviewed. This item has been continued 3 times already, and as such, staff requests that action be taken on this item. Staff would like to enter the presentation and report into the record of tonight's proceedings. Are there any questions?
Ben, you said the chimneys are in good condition?
It looks like it from the ground.
Just the exterior?
Just the exterior of the
You're
chimneys.
not talking the whole chimney going?
No, we have not gone inside and looked down. We're just basing it from what we can see from the ground. They're not missing bricks. There's not large cracks. It looks to be in good condition on the exterior.
From what we were talking about when we were talking to the applicant, he said that he wanted to take the
All the way out.
fireplaces all the way out.
Yep.
And we suggested that that was not a good idea.
We have not received any further information
Okay.
on that request.
And he had the windows in storage, and he was going to put the windows, work on the windows and put them back in.
As of a couple days ago, the windows are still boarded over. I was do the site visit, so no work, as far as I can tell, has been done since we began the process. I've not been able to talk to him since July.
And of
Okay,
these.
so what do we do? I mean,
Well,
we
of
don't approve
the,
this.
well, but the items that are up for review here are not the window, the windows are not among the items for approval. It's a couple of doors.
And the removing
the
the
chimneys.
chimneys to put faux chimneys on.
It's not the windows, so they're not
Correct.
applying for anything on windows.
No, putting them
regarding
back in, he
windows.
doesn't need a COA because he's restoring what was already there.
That was the last thing we heard from this applicant, that he was gonna
Yep.
try to get these restored and.
Yeah, he said he needed more time in July. I've reached out to him the end of July, 1st of August. I reminded him of this meeting twice, and I've
Okay.
not got any
Yeah.
further information,
But-
so.
But the point is that windows aren't a part of what we're reviewing
Correct.
right now.
Just the chimneys?
The chimneys and the changing the doors to the windows and then the rear door.
Yeah.
And then the new window that he's replacing the door with, what do we know about that window? Is it a wood window, I'm
Is
assuming?
that a wood window?
Yeah, they're all going to be wood replacement windows
For those.
if approved.
Yeah. Okay. So, and we, we can approve parts of this and not approve others, but someone is going to have to make a motion, or if there's well, I guess at this point, because there's no applicant here, it's an unusual, I don't remember a situation like this where we're
Well, yeah, it's my first time as well, so.
kind of deliberating on something without an applicant, and we need to make some decision.
Hypothetically, if he comes back, we can reapply at that
Right,
time,
right.
if the situation allows.
Or we can approve some aspects of this, no aspects of this, or the entire thing.
That's your prerogative.
Right. Someone like to, so do we move to,
I think the applicant would
Yeah.
still need an opportunity to, and then members of the public would need an opportunity to comment. It's the same as regular.
Okay, understood.
Yep.
So any other questions for
Yeah,
Ben?
Yeah.
somewhere's in the process, it's been, discuss maybe if an engineer was going to actually make sure the house would not fall down if the chimneys were removed?
That was what he's waiting on, was the engineering report when we talked about it in July. He hadn't had the engineer out yet.
So we've got no new knowledge
Correct.
on that.
Other than an engineer was coming at the end of July, and then now it's been communication silence for a while.
Okay.
The faux chimney request isn't affected by that, or it is?
It's up to us.
The information I have is the information you guys have to make your decision with, because he's not here to,
So
so.
maybe we should just leave the chimney out of the approval.
That could be. You'd have to come back and reapply as a whole separate application just for the chimneys, I assume, if we were to go ahead and,
Anything that's declined and he wants to go forward with would have to come back as a new submission.
okay.
He might alter it, he might submit it as the same, and then you guys would make the decision at that time. But that would be, again, the applicant's decision what to do going forward.
Any other questions for Ben before we open up the evidentiary hearing to members of the public that may want to speak in favor or against this? No? Okay, thank you. If the applicant would like to come forward, it's not seeing the applicant here. Members of the public like to speak in favor or against? Seeing none, commissioner deliberation, thoughts?
We're not, I still haven't seen any evidence that the chimneys need to come down.
Right.
So that seems like we just cross that one off the list.
Okay. Does anyone have anything to say about that disagreement? Want to
I agree with that.
interject? Okay, all right. You're going to move on to another point, Beth?
I have a couple, but I'm not sure if it's editorializing or not. So it doesn't seem that there's any reason not to replace the doors. They aren't original. It doesn't seem like there's any issue with that. In terms of the window, I really would like to see what window he's using as a replacement before we just go ahead and approve that.
Couldn't we make,
Have that?
No, we just have the door.
Yeah.
There's no,
The other thing is that I think this is the part where I'm going to editorialize. I think I'm a little concerned about this house. There hasn't been anything done on it in a while. I did walk past it, like I'm sure all of you have, as you know, we were looking at it for the third time. I'm wondering if being able to approve some things and kind of give him some direction might spur on the work that's needing to be done.
Yeah. So when you look to your point, if you look in the application, under there's a table where it's supposed to be listed details of the new products, if you will, and there's nothing for windows. So we do not know anything about there's nothing about what windows are being proposed to install there.
could we
So-
not just make the finish of the window a condition of the approval if we're going to approve it?
I'm sorry, say it again, Ross?
Can we not just make the finish of the window, the appearance and the dimensions a condition of the approval?
Yeah, they do the sill and the window style and wood, and I think originally this building had, we don't have any historic photographs in the application. Was this originally a 2/2? Do you know, Ben?
I inherited this one from Monica, so give me a minute here.
Okay. It would be nice to know that. So Ross, if we were to say, as long as it's a 2/2 window and you get it to match the muntin and dimensions of the other windows, the width or whatever's supposed to be in that frame.
Can we postpone until he attends a meeting, until he reschedules a meeting, so that we don't keep
I
proposing
think
it
it's
every
going to
month?
keep. I think it's going to keep coming back like
Have
this.
to
It's
roll
old.
over every
Is
month?
old business, and we're trying to. I think we're trying to not have this come back again.
Reapply if need be.
You'd have to re-reply.
Yeah.
Right. Which may not be a bad idea overall.
We will leave it to the commission as to how you want to move forward. Staff
Yeah.
is just requesting that action be taken because it's been continued 3
Okay.
times at this point.
Okay. I
I would like to say no
Right,
on
reject
the
this.
chimneys and not enough evidence on the other information and just say no.
Yeah, I mean, I like what you're saying, Ross, about like just saying, like, let's go ahead and approve a window that matches the existing. It's one less thing he has to deal with, but I don't think anything's being dealt with in general on this on a lot of levels. So if he comes back for, I don't know that any work is not being done on this building. I don't know, unless someone thinks there's value to saying what Ross is recommending, go ahead and you're approved to do a 2/2 window to match existing or whatever the existing was before this was boarded up. Otherwise, it just gets voted on, and if it gets voted down, then they come back with a new application.
The other thing that makes me nervous is that if we approve one thing and he's got a COA in the window, that it would give permission for things to be done that perhaps are not approved of.
He has a COA for the windows already. That's why he's doing the work. To take, if I recall correctly.
There's a COA in front of the house,
I do believe so.
in the front of the house.
'Cause we've been helping him for a while, and then things have stalled out.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a COA posted on that, and I think it was for those restoration of those windows.
I'm almost positive that's it, yeah.
So, I mean, this application isn't difficult. You know, he can continue to work on the windows. He can get things done if he really wanted to. He could paint, he could do other things. You know, I personally don't feel like piecemealing this and approving some things, just, he can come back. That's my opinion. Anyone else have a thought on that?
I agree.
I think Beth's point about like kind of encouraging some progress was a good one. I think, I don't know, it might be worth piecemealing it just for that perspective, so he's not like, doesn't like throw up his hands and say, I can't do this, sort of. I don't know. I don't know anything about this applicant, but
No, I know.
it seems like a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, if you I feel like we've dealt with this in the past where you run into an issue where someone threatens to tear something down because they just keep running into a wall, and that's not what we're trying to do here. So I think throwing them a bone, moving things forward a little bit can go a long way rather than no, 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 no.
I agree.
Someone want to make a motion?
Well, so Ben,
Or Steve?
he's got the windows in storage except for the one we're approving to replace. He's got the rest of these windows, because right now, the plywood nailed on the inside, the rain is just going right through.
What he said at the June meeting is that he has them in storage. I have not personally witnessed them in storage. I'm just repeating back what he told me. Or what he told the commission.
But we're not dealing with that anyway,
No,
so that's a moot point.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Someone want to make a motion?
as to,
Ben, I'm sorry, your microphone may need to move a little bit closer to you if that base moves. Does it? Okay.
I'll give it a try. Do I need to approve and then also deny, or can I just approve the part that we're talking about and ignore the chimney replacement?
Yes, Gina.
Would it be conditions of approval?
You can approve a portion thereof and deny the rest. You can just state that in your motion.
Okay, I'll give it a try. I move to approve with conditions the request for exterior alterations, exterior door removal on the rear facade, and side exit door removal and relocation for the property located at 501 South Fifth Avenue. I move to deny the request for chimney removal and replacement. This is consistent with the Wilmington Design Standards for Historic Districts and Landmarks based on the evidence provided, including the application and all attachments, testimony presented during the evidentiary hearing, and the staff report. Conditions 1 through 5.
I'm sorry, and the new window
Yep.
is to match,
Oh, yes, and additional condition 6, that the new window to match the previous
yeah.
layout and dimensions
Right.
and material.
Can we just swap that with 3, and get rid of the chimney condition and just swap it with a window condition?
Yes, okay. New condition number 3 will be that the window will match previous window layouts and dimensions.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Item 2, 1403 Rankin Street. Ben?
Case 2 is for 1403 Rankin Street and is for a proposed pool installation in the backyard. As adapted from the Carolina Heights Historic District National Register of Historic Places report, the Bellamy Applewhite House, constructed circa 1938, is a colonial revival style dwelling, 3 bays wide, with a gable end roof, with cornice returns and exterior end chimney on the west side. The subject property is located on the northeast corner of the intersection of Rankin Street and North 14th Street. The property is located in the Carolina Heights Overlay District. As such, only that which can be seen from public access, excluding alleys, is subject to design review. The applicant proposes to install a pool in the backyard of the property. The proposed pool will be manufactured of fiberglass and shale gray classic and will be 14 feet by 30 feet in size, ranging in depth from 3 feet 6 inches to 6 feet. A metal aluminum fence, meaning the North Carolina Code for pool barriers, will be installed along the perimeter of the pool, approximately 93 linear feet with one 8-foot wide double gate and one 5-foot wide double gate. A 4-foot wide seashell concrete surround will be installed as an apron around the pool for a total of 416 square feet. A 3x8 concrete equipment pad for a total of 24 square feet will be installed between the proposed pool and the house. Staff notes that while the lot is surrounded by vegetation, the proposed pool will be at least partially visible from North 14th Street. In addition, the proposed pool will be set approximately 20 feet from the nearest property boundary. If approved, staff recommends the following conditions. The proposed fence to be installed around the pool shall meet the NC code, North Carolina Code for pool barriers, and shall not exceed 6 feet in height. During excavation work, if any significant archaeological materials are found, the property owner shall comply with the recommendations of the Office of State Archaeology on preservation of the materials and notify the city's preservation manager of any discovery. Any report on archaeological materials shall be submitted to the city for record-keeping purposes. All construction shall meet code, and any proposed changes to the project shall be reviewed. Staff would like to enter the presentation and report into the record of tonight's proceedings. Are there any questions?
Questions? So was there not a detail of what that fence looks like a profile, elevation, if you will?
It's the black picket. I do not have a picture of it on here. I'm not sure if I have one if there's one in the application or not. If I was provided one, it'd be in the application.
Any other questions? No, thank you. Is the applicant available to speak? If you would come forward. Yeah, please come forward and state your name and address. And if you need to adjust the microphone, please.
I'm Kimberly Gatto, 1403 Rankin Street.
Would you like to add anything, or do you have any, can you tell us a little bit what this fence looks like? The top rail?
It's 4 foot high, and it is black aluminum, and it's just the straight.
Okay.
I don't have a picture either, or I would give it.
Okay. Anything to add, or
No,
any
other
questions?
than I'm excited to help.
Okay. Any questions for the applicant?
Kimberly, are there any trees that will be removed to make way for the pool?
Right by our back door, there's a loquat tree that's going to be relocated on the property.
Got it. Great.
Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is anyone present would like to come forward to speak in favor or against? Seeing none, Commissioner deliberation. Someone like to make a motion?
I make a motion to approve with conditions the request to install a pool on the property located at 1403 Rankin Street. This request is consistent with Wilmington design standards for historic districts and landmarks based on the evidence provided, including the application and all attachments, testimony presented during the evidentiary hearing, and the staff report.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Thank you. You look excited about that pool.
Have a good swim.
Yeah. Item 3, 218 North 5th Avenue. Hillary.
Good evening, Commissioners. Case number 3 is a request for a rare sunroom installation on 218 North Fifth Avenue. The one-story contemporary gable front house located at 218 North Fifth Avenue was constructed circa 1990. It is located within Historic District Residential and is a non-contributing resource due to its age at the time that it was documented. Revisions to all facades of the building and site are subject to design review. The subject property is located on North Fifth Avenue between Gray Street and Chestnut Street. The applicant proposes to install a sunroom on the existing deck at the rear or east elevation of the house. On the right of the slide is the site plan provided by the applicant displaying the location of the proposed sunroom, which will cover a portion of the existing deck. The existing wood deck, framing, and wood lattice skirting will be retained. The deck will be modified as needed to accommodate sunroom installation. 3 existing columns on the deck will be removed and replaced with 3 new square 6-inch by 6-inch wood posts on the east elevation to support the sunroom. The proposed sunroom will feature white vinyl framing with non-operable full-height picture windows on the rear and side elevations. A full-view outswing glass door will be installed on the rear or east elevation, and a full-view sliding glass door will be installed on the south side elevation. The proposed sunroom will feature a studio-style roof, averaging 9 feet in height from grade to peak. The roof will be constructed with insulated roof panels with an integrated gutter and downspout system. The applicant also proposes to construct a 16-foot by 18-foot carport over the existing driveway located at the northwest corner of the property. The existing fence at the rear of the driveway will be removed and relocated approximately 8 feet to the east, aligning parallel to the existing fence structure. The proposed carport will be supported by wood columns in a craftsman style. The exterior of the carport will be finished with fiber cement lap siding, matching the color of the siding and trim of the house. The roof of the proposed carport will be 14 feet in height from grade level to the peak of the roof and will be constructed with metal blend material. The roof will feature a front slope with a 6/12 pitch to match the roof of the existing front porch of the house. If approved, staff recommend the following conditions. No mature trees or historic landscaping shall be removed as a result of the proposed project. All construction shall comply with code and changes shall be reviewed. Staff would like to enter the presentation and report into the record of tonight's proceedings. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Hillary?
Is the sunroom visible from the right-of-way?
Yes, although the carport will be installed on this driveway, without the carport, it would be visible from North Fifth Street.
The metal roof on the carport is flat metal, not striated?
I would like to defer to the applicant right now. We can add that as a condition.
You?
I'm looking in the application, I didn't see this anywhere. Is the roof metal on the carport? Do you know?
Is the applicant
Okay,
here?
all right, we'll figure that out in a minute then. Okay, any other questions for Hillary? No, thank you.
Thank you.
If the applicant would like to come forward, please, if you'd state your name and address, and if you could adjust the microphone as necessary so we can hear you for the record.
Name's Jeff Stearns, 7203 Adonis Court, Wilmington. I'm the general contractor for Ingham Brothers, who's contracting to work for the homeowners. Okay. And as far as the first question with the metal roof, it'll be a standing seam, metal roof. Striated or is typically what we've been doing because of the oil canning. That'll come in flat panels.
So, but the standing seam, would it look like the front porch roof, what we're looking at in this image right here?
Yes, sir.
Those kind of ribs there?
Yes, sir.
And regardless of the oil canning, can it be done without the, If it were a condition, you can install a roof that didn't have the striations, correct?
Most definitely, yes.
Yeah. Any other questions for the applicant?
I'm a little confused by some of the design guidelines. I don't know what page it is, but it looks, so
Mr. Solke,
basically-
if you could get a little bit closer to the microphone.
I'm trying to, okay, so it's kind of a gable style facing back from the house, not a shed style? Because a couple of the designs here kind of confused me.
The sunroom?
Yeah, the sunroom, I'm
The
sorry.
sunroom is drawn as a shed-style roof currently.
It is
Yeah,
currently
the
shed.
carport is not.
That's okay, all right. And the carport, the gable would be pointing towards the house, not the street?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to be clear on that. All right, thank you.
Any other questions? Good, okay.
Okay,
I
thank
think
you.
we're set, thank you. If there's anyone in attendance that would like to speak in favor or against? Seeing none? Any other deliberation on this or thoughts? Or is there a motion to make? Someone make a motion. Let's make a motion.
I move to approve with conditions the request to construct a rear sunroom, modify the existing rear deck to accommodate it, and construct a carport for the property located at 218 North Fifth Avenue. This request is consistent with the Wilmington design standards for historic districts and landmarks based on the evidence provided, including the application and all attachments, testimony presented during the evidentiary hearing, and the staff report. Conditions of approval, 1 through 3.
And a
Second?
flat metal roof instead of the striations
Yes,
between the
that's right.
roofs?
Flat metal roof instead of striations to match the house.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That passes. Thank you. Agenda item 4, 411 Market Street and 15 North Fifth Avenue.
Case 4 is for the proposed reconstruction and renovation of the educational building for the First Baptist Church at 411 Market Street and 15 North Fifth Avenue. As described in the Wilmington Historic District Boundary Expansion and Additional Documentation Report, the First Baptist Church, initially constructed between 1860 and 1870, is a gable front church with towers on both corners. The eastern tower and spire are extremely elongated and were reconstructed after hurricane damage. The First Baptist Church is located on the northwest corner of the intersection of Market Street and North Fifth Avenue. The subject building is a contributing resource to the Theater District HD. Revisions to all facades of the building and the site are subject to design review. The applicant proposes to reconstruct the educational wing of the First Baptist Church because the existing structure has suffered considerable deterioration, particularly in the 1970s during excavation related to subterranean parking structure under the nearby former law enforcement center. Despite stabilization efforts in the early 1980s that include steel beams, tie rods, and plates, the educational wing, especially the north wall, is in need of reconstruction. The existing educational wing is a combination of 2 over 3 stories over a basement, and this portion of the existing building will be removed to allow for the reconstruction. Only the north exterior wall of the educational wing will be removed, while the front, sides, and west and exterior walls will be retained and preserved. The reconstructed educational wing will be expanded to the north into what is now a parking lot. In addition to expanding to the north, the educational wing will also be reconstructed to be 3 stories in height over a basement for the entire new structure. An expansion on the south side of the historic Sidbury House, the church's adult educational building at 15 North Fifth Avenue, will combine with the expanded educational wing to form a hyphen to the former residence, providing the church behind the church to improve accessibility for both structures. To minimize the effect of the additional height of the front and side elevations, the reconstructed educational wing will have the vertical expanses set back from the retained walls. The proposed height for the reconstructed educational wing will maintain the pre-construction height of the existing sanctuary as defined by the city ordinance and will fall below the maximum height of 55 feet above grade to median roof slope and/or flat roof slope. The mechanical equipment will be set in a recessed mechanical well to block view of the equipment. Materials for the proposed educational wing reconstruction were chosen to appropriately match the existing church and wall surrounds to be retained and include natural slate, matching brick veneer, cast stone features, and copper colored flashing and FRP trim color. When possible, existing decorative limestone panels installed during a project in the 1980s to improve accessibility will be salvaged and reincorporated into the reconstructed educational wing. The photo on the left from circa 1982 shows the project of adding the projecting bay as well as a 3-bay vestibule at the rear north elevation. Staff notes the following. Older portions of the church that will be retained obscure the view of the educational wing from the public right-of-way. Best views of the proposed project will be from the rear of the church and from along North 5th Avenue north of the church. The exposed north wall has experienced numerous brick repairs as evidenced by the large number of mortar repairs of varying quality. If approved, staff recommends the following conditions. All windows and door glazing shall be clear with no tint. No mature trees or historic landscaping shall be removed as a result of the proposed project. All construction shall meet code, and any proposed changes to the project shall be reviewed. Staff would like to enter the presentation and report into the record of tonight's proceedings. Are there any questions?
Questions? No? Thank you. The applicant is in attendance and would like to come forward and state your name and address, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is Bruce Bowman of Bowman Murray Hemingway Architects, 514 Market Street. And I'm here with representatives of First Baptist Church. Very excited about fixing something that's been needing to be done for many years. I fashion myself as a preservation architect, among other project types. Projects include Governor Dudley Mansion, the Greystone Inn, Temple of Israel, Common Desk, and most recently, structural stabilization of New Hanover High School. So we've tried to honor the existing beautiful church and the two main front walls of the original educational building. And those walls are going to be maintained intact, and they're going to have a new structure put behind them, anchored with steel braces, much as the common desk property. And then on the south wall, we're going to replace that damaged wall from the excavation of the old law enforcement center. And it will be a wall that emulates, but doesn't have all the, historic elements like the Gothic arches on the top row of windows, for example, so that it can be a product of its own time, but then congruous with the existing walls and step it up a little bit from its current instantiation. The beauty of this is it makes the building much more accessible to the users. I know that may not be in your purview, and it makes the Sidbury House also accessible, so it accomplishes a lot of things. Now, the existing educational building is actually partially 3 stories over basement now, and they're very squeezy stories. What we're doing is we're making the entire footprint, except for the hyphen that Ben had referred to as 3 stories over basement. The hyphen would be 1 story less. And then take that top story, because each story gets an extra foot or so to make the ceiling heights reasonable. We're putting that top story behind a natural slate roof mansard with dormers to introduce windows, and setting that new front wall back by a number of feet so that it's not clearly, it's visible, but it's not seemingly out of place when viewed from the street at a person's eye-level perspective. we're, right now, the building is a wood frame interior. We're looking at a structural steel and concrete frame building that will last the ages. And we are going to pay very close attention to matching masonry, mortar color, mortar width, things of this sort, much like we did on the Hanover High School, so that it would hopefully have a seamless effect to the passerby. You know, beyond that, I would say I would be welcome to field any questions from the commission. And maybe I should ask, do any of you folks want to speak, or just, okay, maybe not. It's all right. So if there are any questions, I'd be glad to answer.
New Hanover's beautiful, by the way.
Yes, I agree.
It really
Thank you.
is.
Appreciate that.
And the church next door, we're lucky to have churches that are, yeah.
Doing
It'd
work.
be beautiful as well, yeah.
I was really impressed with the attention to detail in the application. And I have a sort of a related question. The Sidbury house next door, what are the plans for that?
Okay, well, that's a good question. It's much like my office, which is sort of catty-corner to this building, and it has two main parlors in the front of the building that are connected through a large double sliding door. We're not going to alter any of those primary function, embellished spaces. If you look at this plan, you can sort of see the sidewalls bump out a foot or so at the rear. That's an old porch, was an old porch, then it was expanded to be a new masonry addition. There's not much there that would be worth taking back to the original state, but we do intend on having support spaces back there. So and you know, still to this day, honestly, it's like the building that forgot time. There is a tiny little cage door elevator that's there behind the stairs, still there. The motor's still in the attic. I mean, it's just blows my mind to see that these things still exist. And our intention would be that we don't disturb those things, but that we honor the primary function spaces and restore finishes. That the Sidbury house will probably see only minor renovations in general, as will the WLI building will probably on the basement level receive some interior renovations not visible from the street. So anything that would be done to the Sidbury house would be sort of clean and paint with similar color the exterior, and maybe improve storm windows or something like that that are already there.
Thank you.
And that elevation, the east elevation really speaks to how these two marry. Bruce's A3.1. And that one.
Yeah, there you see a before after, and you know, I would say, John Oxenville, the architect that did that triple bay portico, old accessible entrance, he had a very crafted style and beautiful limestone pieces, and so we're going to salvage those. It's not original to the 1860 building or 1860 structure, but you know, it fits very nicely, and we tend to sort of carry that over one side bay and then another return bay.
Okay. Nice. Any other questions for the applicant? No? All good? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And no other, okay, thank you. If anyone would like to speak in favor or against, if you'd come forward. Seeing none, we'll move to commissioner deliberation.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
We've had two of these
Yeah.
back to back.
Yeah. I mean, really well done.
Yeah, agreed.
Motion?
Yes.
I move,
You go ahead. Be my guest.
I
Go for it.
move to approve the request to reconstruct and renovate educational wing of the First Baptist Church for the property located at 411 Market Street and 15th North 5th Avenue. The request is consistent with the Wilmington Design Standards of Historic Districts and Landmarks based on the evidence provided, including the application and all attachments, testimony presented during the evidentiary hearing, staff report, conditions of approvals, 1 through 4.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That passes. Thank you. Nice work. Agenda item 5, 605 Dock Street.
All right, case
Hillary,
number
thank you.
5. Yep, case number 5 is a request for rear porch replacement at 605 Dock Street. The Voller-Selke house located at 605 Dock Street was constructed circa 1898 and is a contributing resource within Historic District residential. As such, revisions to all facades of the building and site are subject to design review. The subject property is located on Dock Street between 6th and 7th Streets. On the left of this slide is an overview photo of the existing porch. The applicant has noted that the existing porch was built incrementally over the past 15 years and that the existing deck has multiple levels. The applicant is proposing to replace this porch with a single-level porch that mirrors the existing porch of the neighboring property, which is a sister house built with the same design. On the right is the site plan provided by the applicant displaying the location of the proposed porch, which will have a footprint similar to the existing porch. To the left of this slide is an elevation rendering of the proposed porch, and on the right are the proposed ground floor and porch floor plans. The porch deck will be constructed with 5/4 decking over pressure-treated sleepers and square 6-inch by 6-inch pressure-treated wrap columns to support the porch roof above the deck. Porch railings will consist of pressure-treated handrails and pickets arranged in Chippendale pattern. All railing components will be painted to match the existing trim of the house. Stairs will be 4 feet wide, constructed with pressure-treated wood, and the handrails will also be constructed with pressure-treated wood. Square wood lattice skirting will be installed below the porch, framed between 8-inch by 8-inch brick veneer pedestals extending from grade to the base of the porch. The porch will be covered by a metal-clad hip roof, approximately 4 feet in length and 12 feet in width, with a height of 9 feet and 6 inches, matching the existing roof of the house in style and material. The porch ceiling will be finished with tongue and groove planking. Staff would like to amend the case summary to add the following condition. The proposed metal roofing shall match the house and be flat channeled with no striations. If approved, staff additionally recommend the following conditions. All pressure-treated elements shall be painted to match the existing trim of the house. No mature trees or historic landscaping shall be removed as a result of the proposed project. All construction shall comply with code, and changes shall be reviewed. Staff would like to enter the presentation and report into the record of tonight's proceedings. That concludes the presentation. Happy to answer any questions, and the applicant is here as well.
Any questions for Hillary? No? Thank you.
Thank you.
If the applicant would like to come forward and add any thoughts to this, or also take questions, perhaps. If you'd state your name and address, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission. I'm Spence Broadhurst. This is my wife, Jennifer. We live at 605 Dock Street. We consider it a privilege to be here, and thank you for your service. It's pretty straightforward. The porch as it sits has been built in several different stages, is in different levels, and is not tremendously functional. We're going to replace it with a single level. We would, if it's appropriate, it's my first time being in front of you guys, but if it's appropriate, there are 2 enhancements to materials we would like to do that we found after we submitted it. So if that's appropriate, can we suggest that? One is, if you read carefully, it has some of the fascia. Our original document said there would be fiber cement board. We want to do that with wood, Durapane.
Okay.
And The other is the deck boards, or 5/4 deck boards. We would like to do those 5/4 tongue and groove.
Okay. All right. The fascia, was that an inch and a half thick? Like a 2x6 or 8, something like that?
I'm not sure of the size of it. We just saw them when the architect gave it to us. You know, we're not builders, we didn't know, and
Yeah.
so we submitted it. Our builders saw that and suggested doing, and we would have done that anyway.
Sure.
We'd rather do it in wood, so I'm not sure of the size of it.
And you're okay with staff's recommendation for the roof to match your roof?
Absolutely, yeah, that was our intention all along.
Okay.
Oh, and, okay, so it's 1x6, so yeah, and has a good subfascia though, so I was just curious about that. The thinner the material, the more it wants to move and warp, but they're gonna be nailing it up against not just exposed rafters, but a subfascia, so that 1x looks like it'd be fine. I'm only thinking about construction details. And then, you know, I've recommended the builder too, and for you, and I'm sure you've got a reputable person doing the work on this, but there's gonna be potential for that flashing, so when the roof comes down, to really get that flashing right and make sure siding's at least probably 2 inches above the roof to get it up away and prime those edges. It's gonna be a hard little detail to get right. Like, great design, I think it's beautiful, and I laud you for what's been designed here, but just, you know, think about that, the edges of that cut siding as the roof gets set against the existing house, and make sure it's protected and isn't gonna be exposed to rot. Anyone else have any questions, comments? No? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Does anyone in the audience like to speak in favor or against? Seeing none, move to commissioner deliberation. And if we're gonna be making the motion, just don't forget that we're, you know, changing from fiber cement to wood.
I move to approve the conditions of the request to reconstruct the rear porch for the property located at 605 Dock Street with the following changes. The cement board will be replaced with wood fascia, the deck boards will be 5/5 tongue and groove, and the roof of the porch will match the roof of the house. Based on the evidence provided, including the application and all attachments, testimony presented during the evidentiary hearing, and the staff report, this request is consistent with the Wilmington Design Standards for Historic Districts and Landmarks.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes. Congratulations, nice looking project. 6, 314 4th Street. Ben.
Case 6 is for the partial enclosure of an existing screen porch at 314 South 4th Street. As described in the Wilmington Historic District Boundary Expansion Report, the Bishop House, constructed circa 1930, is a one-story side gable house with multi-light central entry and engaged porch on the southeast corner. The house at 314 South 4th Street is located on the west side of South 4th Street, 4 parcels north of its intersection with Nunn Street. It is located in the Historic District Residential, and as such, all revisions to all facades and the site are subject to design review. The applicant proposes to close off the rear portion of the existing screened-in porch to create a second bathroom. To enclose this portion of the porch and expand the interior of the dwelling, a new exterior wall will be constructed approximately 4 feet to 5 feet within the screened-in porch. The new exterior wall will match the existing exterior walls, but will not be readily visible from the public right-of-way because the front portion of the screened-in porch will not be altered. In addition, the exterior walls of the existing screened-in porch area to be converted to a bathroom will be enclosed and clad in siding, wood siding matching the existing dwelling. To allow natural light into the new bathroom area, 2 transom windows are proposed, with one installed on the south elevation and one on the rear west elevation of the formerly screened-in porch area. The existing window within the screened-in porch area to be enclosed, which is technically an exterior window, will be converted into an interior doorway to provide access to the new bathroom. The proposed windows will be gelled win premium vinyl tilt single hung fixed classic LC PG50 units. The proposed partial porch enclosure will add approximately 58.5 square feet of area to the interior of the house. Staff notes the following. Although the project will technically expand the house, the footprint of the dwelling will not be altered. The front portion of the existing screened-in porch area will not be altered, so that will obscure any potential views of the new exterior wall to be constructed within the porch area. The enclosure of the back portion of the side south elevation of the screened-in porch will be the most visible portion of the proposed project. If approved, staff recommends the following conditions. The new exterior wall shall be clad in wood siding matching the existing wood siding on the house. All window glazing shall be clear with no tint. The existing exterior window within the enclosed porch be removed to create a new doorway shall be retained as a potential replacement window for the house. All construction shall comply with code, and changes to the project, any changes to the project shall be reviewed. Staff would like to enter the presentation and report into tonight's proceedings. Are there any questions?
Ben, thank you for including that as a condition to keep those windows, those two sashes on site for use later on for this owner or the future owners. That was that's helpful. The new windows in the bathroom, what are there sizes for those that we know about? Like I don't see an elevation. I don't know how tall they are. Are they? I assume they're just probably transoms. They're short. Maybe the applicant would know if they're.
Yeah, they're transom. Yeah, small transom windows. Smaller transom windows.
And they'll have to be tempered glass. Just again as a little.
Size test is 72 inches by 72 inches. Wait, that's door. Wait. That can't be right.
12 inches by 32 inches.
Oh, yeah, 12 inches by 13. Yeah, down there. Okay, I see. Yeah. I was looking at the size tested in the type.
12 inches tall, 32
Yeah,
inches
12
wide.
inches by 32 inches. Yep.
Okay. Any questions for Ben on this? Nope. Thank you. The applicant would like to come forward, please. If you state your name and address and adjust the microphone as necessary.
George Trifoli, 624 Brunswick Street.
Shannon Sentmeyer, 314 South 4th.
Okay. Anything to add or?
No, Ben did a great job presenting what we want to do. We totally agree with all of his recommendations. We hadn't thought about saving the window, but that's a great idea. So we agree with everything he recommended.
It's an easy way to get a new bathroom in this place.
Exactly.
Still leaves an 8-foot porch, so that's cool too, yeah. Questions, comments for the applicant? No? Thank you.
Thanks for your service.
Sure. It's really easy. It's not that hard. I'm sorry. If there's anyone in the audience who'd like to speak in favor or against, seeing none, Commissioner deliberation. Any comments, questions, thoughts on this or a motion?
Okay. I move to approve with conditions request to enclose the rear portion of a screened-in porch of the property located at 314 4th Street based on the evidence provided, including the application, all attachments, and testimony presented during the evidentiary hearing and staff reports. This request is consistent with the Wilmington Design Standards and Historic Districts and Landmarks, conditions of approval 1 through 5.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That passes. Oh, and you'll have a contractor or someone that the windows need to be both of those will need to be tempered. Yeah, just don't get those installed and then get the inspection and find out that they aren't tempered. Thank you. Okay. Agenda item 7, Wilmington Iron Works.
Case 7 is an application to designate the former Wilmington Iron Works machine shop building located at 201 South Market Street as a local landmark. As adapted from the Wilmington Historic District Boundary Expansion Report, the Wilmington Iron Works machine shop building at the southeast corner of the intersection of South Water Street and Orange Street has a front gable configuration with segmental arch window heads and brick pilasters dividing bays on the long side. A large metal sliding door is located on the southwest corner of the west elevation. Large wood beams support the low-pitched gable roof with portions of the machinery retained among the beams. The building is a contributing resource to the Wilmington Historic District and to the Central Business District Historic District overlay. Although the building lacks a high architectural style, the history of the building, as noted by the applicant, quote, tells an important story in the city's economic history, end quote. The property began its known economic usage as a repository for naval stores, an important industry for Wilmington during the mid-19th century. On July 25, 1831, the property transferred to Peter B. Ruffin, a merchant and financier from Hillsborough, North Carolina, and son of North Carolina Supreme Court Justice Thomas Ruffin. A newspaper advertisement from August 24, 1864, referenced a large shed for rent at the subject building's location, with another similar advertisement occurring in 1879. In 1887, D.L. Gore, a Civil War veteran and prominent Wilmington businessman, purchased the property, and since at least 1884, per the Sanborn map, and as seen in the 18 Sanborn map on the left, the frame warehouse is labeled the Tar and Turpentine Naval Stores associated with the Robinson and King Industrial Complex. In 1908, Gore signed a lease agreement with the Wilmington Iron Works, and by 1915, the frame building had become the machine shop associated with the Wilmington Iron Works, as seen in the Sanborn map on the right. The former Wilmington Iron Works building was likely initially constructed in circa 1869 as a frame structure, but was reconstructed of brick circa 1925. The Sanborn maps show that sometime between 1915 and 1951, the frame warehouse building was replaced by a brick warehouse building on the same footprint as seen on the Sanborn map on the left. Wilmington Iron Works utilized the building until the company went out of business in 2000. During its time operating, Wilmington Iron Works helped produce numerous metal resources, including doors, fences, gears, engines, boilers, saws, and parts for large locomotives and steamboats. The company participated in the manufacturing efforts for both World War I and World War II. As the railroad industry grew in Wilmington, the railroad industry became a major consumer of the Wilmington Iron Works products until both declined in the late 20th century. An undated photo, likely from the mid-20th century, and one from circa 1970, show that the existing building retains a good level of integrity from the early to mid-20th century, where the Wilmington Iron Works was using the machine shop until now. After the bankruptcy of the Wilmington Iron Works, the property was sold, and by 2017, the building had been adaptively reused as the Museum of the Bazaar to cater to curious members of the community and tourists alike. The building's facades incorporate the slope of the terrain of Orange Street as it rises towards Front Street, as can be seen in these photos. The west elevation features a sliding corrugated metal cargo door from the Wilmington Iron Works period of the building's history, while the south elevation is used for employees only. The north elevation features a modern entry for the Museum of the Bazaar, but it also retains an excellent industrial steel door stenciled Wilmington Iron Works Machine Shop. The regular versus arched windows can be seen in the photos on this slide. This is the cargo door on the west elevation, as well as a square window on the east elevation. Although the warehouse was likely reconstructed in the early 20th century, based on the heavy timber framing still visible in the building today, there's a strong probability that a lot of the frame structure of the original frame warehouse was salvaged and reused in the construction of the current brick warehouse former machine shop. In addition to the heavy timber framing throughout the building, iron support columns with branching angled supports highlight the interior and were likely manufactured by the Wilmington Iron Works specifically for this building. Although not the most glamorous of buildings, the utilitarian nature of the former Wilmington Iron Works building does not diminish its historical importance to the city because of its industrial and commercial uses. Started as a facility for the naval stores, one of the most important early industries of Wilmington, before being adaptively reused for manufacturing as the city shifted to a more production-centered economy in the 20th century, before once again being adapted for use by the tourist industry to cater to Wilmington's development during the early 21st century as a premier tourist destination. If approved, staff recommends the following conditions. If Commission elects to recommend approval of the local historic landmark application, the request will be forwarded to the City Council for final approval. If approved for designation as an official local landmark, any exterior design changes or substantial interior structural changes proposed for the former Wilmington Iron Works building are subject to design review procedures of the Wilmington Historic Preservation Commission. And local landmark designation renders the property owner eligible for a 50% deferral in city and county property taxes. Staff would like to enter the presentation and report into tonight's proceedings. Are there any questions?
Questions for Ben? Comments? No? Okay, thank you. If the applicant would like to come forward, answer any questions or add anything, if you'd state your...
Sir, I'm sorry,
Name and
never mind.
address?
This is actually a public hearing, so you do not need to be sworn in. I apologize.
I did though, I was here.
Okay,
So,
thanks.
Covered all the bases.
we got it.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, Clayton Homersky, 153 Yorktown Drive. I saw most of you guys last time during the first half of this part, so I don't have much to add. I think Ben did a great job, but I'm here if you've got any questions.
I have to say, I've kind of noticed this Wilmington Ironworks stamped on various things as I walk around town. I never paid attention before, but now I'm like, oh, there's one. Oh,
Yeah.
there's one. Yeah, there are quite a few things around.
It's pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, I'll return to my spot if that's all right.
Thank you. Open this to the members, all the members of the audience, and if anyone would like to come forward to speak in favor or against, seeing none, Commissioner deliberation on this item.
Don?
I think it's just such a pleasure to see this being done.
Yeah.
And I'd be delighted to make a motion to approve.
Yeah, and I have to add, just, we've done these designations for other buildings that are cultural significance or historian. People have really historical value in the things that they provided the city and like Dr. Eaton's and all that kind of stuff. But this one I appreciate as someone involved in construction that, like, building the wares that came out of this building actually helped build the city. So I like the idea of this a lot.
Same. I move to approve with conditions the request for a local landmark application for the property located at Wilmington Ironworks, 201 South Water Street, based on the evidence provided, including the application and all attachments, testimony presented during the evidentiary hearing, and the staff report. This request is consistent with Wilmington design standards for historic districts and landmarks.
Is there a second?
Second.
Who's that, Stephen?
There are two of them.
Second.
Ross?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? That passes unanimously. Thank you. What else we got? Any items from commission before we close this meeting right now, tonight? Any items from staff, please?
Just a quick staff update on Keenan Fountain. There is a project planned. The fountain will be restored. While the 2 benches and 2 balusters within the medians off Market Street and 5th Avenue will be removed for health and safety reasons. And once removed, they will be stored for potential reinstallation at a more appropriate location. Work is planned to occur over the next several months. The 2 benches are on the 5th Avenue side of the intersection, and the 2 balusters, what's left of the 2 balusters, are on the Market Street side or Market Street sides of the fountain.
So will it be
Yep.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Will it be functional with water?
The fountain is planned to be restored, correct?
And it's going to be where it is. I thought they were moving the fountain as well.
I've been here 8 months and have heard 3 different plans for it. As of now, it's going to be restored in place, and the water will be running again, from my understanding.
That's a lot of money to get run over again.
Well, my understanding is some of them insurance is involved as well, so I'm not involved in the financial side of it, so I'm not sure.
Are there any discussions about what happens if the bridge dumps on 5th, what they're going to do with this fountain? No, I know you don't know the answer.
We haven't even discussed what's going to happen when it dumps on the 5th. No,
so nobody's even gone that far yet.
I hope for the best. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. We'll cross that. We'll literally cross that bridge when we have to.
We'll cross that fountain when we get there.
Have to, yeah. I have heard rumor that they would like to move it, but as far as I know, there's no plans to move the fountain itself. It's just the exterior things on the sides at the moment. And they will be, what's left of them will be preserved and possibly reinstalled at a future location.
Do you have any idea of the deliberation on this? Why did they, I understand the bench, I don't know why someone would want to basically sit in the middle of an intersection, but why the balusters?
Like why they're there originally, or?
Yeah,
I mean, again,
the idea to remove those, I mean, was it ever discussed? Was it city council that made this?
City council is involved. They have been briefed on it several times. I'm not sure where the voting is exactly in the process.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess that's part of it. Is it
Yeah,
engineering, is this something that was a?
Public Works.
Public Works,
yeah.
okay.
There have been several car accidents, and yeah, as you can tell, I don't think it's thieves taking stuff away. Yeah.
How old is it?
Newton is responsible for most of this.
Yeah.
How old is the fountain?
I think it's early 1920s. I think it's like 21 or early 1920s.
I would defer to that, give or take. I looked it up, but I don't remember off the top of my head now. It's been a while.
So I just want to make sure I understand. The benches, balusters are being removed. Nothing is going to be put in their place. They're just
Correct. They're going to be removed, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, there might be signage or something at some point for guidance or whatever, but it's going to be turned back into median.
And so city council did vote on this, and this is the path forward right now, that they're going to restore it?
As far as I understand.
Okay.
The fountain has been modified a few times. It had a larger outer ring around it at one point in time that they removed circa 1980, give or take. I found photos of that. It might even been earlier than that. So the fountain's been altered before, but the plan is to get the water working again.
Cool.
To get it flowing.
Okay.
And then to keep people from hitting things on the sides, hopefully.
I don't think so.
Well,
Anyway. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. That's why I want to give you guys a heads up, because work's going to be going on, things are going to disappear. I didn't want you to be shocked if you see it in your travels.
Well, it'll be nice to have that. It'll be nice to have the water going again. It'll be nice to have it, look like it's functioning, especially as Fifth is being allegedly revitalized.
If I may,
Yes.
I just wanted to clarify, I do not believe city council took a vote on this. This was presented to them by our public works director in terms of recommending that the balusters and the benches be removed because they have been repeatedly hit by vehicles and damaged. And they're very costly to repair, so continuing to repair them in place just to be hit again does not seem to make a lot of sense. And then in terms of the Fifth Avenue, I actually just heard this afternoon that we are starting paving and landscaping, so it's coming.
So my understanding from reading about this in the Star News, this, so it's a recommendation from Public Works, and City Council did not vote, but let's say this fountain were to be considered for removal. Is that an item that would come in front of this commission first, like before the next step of City Council vote on this, if it were to be removed? Does anyone know that?
I don't think so.
I don't believe it becomes before the commission.
They're just going to move it if they do anything, right?
I'll bring you news
Since
of
it's
it.
in a public right-of-way, I think it would be up to council to make that decision.
It is a defining feature of the historic district.
Doesn't okay. I thought I read that it would be a commission item, but maybe the.
It mentioned that the Fifth Street is going to start being paved and landscaped. Is that going to be the project where there was one lane on each side with the bike lane, or is that not happening?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
And I wanted to say, we can double check on council votes on this. I remember a presentation on this at a briefing session. They may have voted to appropriate funds for the actual repairs to the fountain, but when we're talking about I just can't say with certainty whether or not they took action on approving the removal of the balusters and the benches. I do know it was presented to them.
Okay. Thank you for that update. I was curious. Next meeting date is October 9th, 2025, in this location. And if someone would like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Move to adjourn.
I move to end the meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That passes unanimously.